So what is it that's made Pudgy Penguins quite so popular? And they are popular, right? They launched the Pengu token this week, and it was on MSNBC, right? Mainstream financial news was talking about these little Pudgy Penguins token. I don't know how they kept a straight face whilst they're doing it, or whether they know what's going on. It's an NFT collection, right? Pudgy Penguins. And most NFTs have been incredibly unpopular for the last 2 years. There's been the bear market. Now, most of the projects that launched 2 years ago did go to nothing, but some of them, Pudgy Penguins really being the main one, kept building, and they've grown. And all through those last 2 years, when everything was going down in value, Penguins was going up. I was watching it, everyone was watching it, wondering how is this happening? I think it's because of the guy who sort of bought the collection, a guy called Luca Netz, who took over leadership of the collection. I was unsure at first, everyone was unsure, we didn't know who he was, some people may have, I didn't, but he's just taken it from strength to strength. It's been amazing to watch. First of all, the community started making these GIFs, right? Positive messages. They focused on just brightening up each other's day with these cute little pictures, which is understandable because all of the market was down. It was a really unpopular thing to hold, but they started sharing these GIFs, sharing these memes. People really liked them, and not just normal Twitter people or normal crypto or NFT people or collectors or speculators, but like your mum, your sister, your brother, your friends. You know, people started sharing these penguin memes. They've got billions of views at this point. So the brand started to grow. People started to understand them, and people who didn't know about the collection had no idea of speculation or NFTs. And the next thing Luca did, which was really surprising, people had tried to make plushies, right? These little sort of toys, and let's have some sort of use for our tokens, some sort of use for our collection. A lot of people did that, but only Luca got them all into Walmart. He did like this massive deal with Walmart and then Target and then other shops and just started distributing them worldwide, right? He actually executed on the business side of things. And so all these kids, we had videos of like kids and people opening these penguins, starting to really fall in love with them. They had no idea. This is the big thing. They had no idea what NFTs were, where these Pudgy Penguins were from. They simply liked the actual toys. The brand in itself was gaining traction. People loved the cuteness of them. Now, when a brand starts to really grow like this, what you need is people who understand business in charge of it. And I really think now that Luca Netz is one of those people. He's managing to combine really clever sort of business acumen. He understands how to execute, how to put a team about him. He's managed to secure these huge deals, but his heart also seems into the community aspects of it. If you look up @PudgyKindness on Twitter, you'll actually see all these stories of where the community's found people who are maybe having a hard time, down on their luck, something tragic's just happened, and they find ways to just brighten up their life a bit, sharing their YouTube channel, bringing attention to them, or it's really quite wonderful to see. And I don't think it's just a marketing gimmick. I think really the community has coalesced around Luca's vision of something which is kind, right? And something which is quite beautiful and spreads life and positivity. I'll talk about that Pudgy Kindness in another video because it's such a wonderful kind of initiative and it's really captured people's attentions and hearts, really. It's something that I can get on board with and a lot of people can. Now, this is all the vision of Luca Netz, really. The community's taken this on board and run with it and loves it. They've sort of made it their own, they've co-opted it. But Luca, when I listen to him on podcasts, when I listen to him in just interviews, his business acumen, his strategic thinking, I'm just really impressed. I'm like, okay, you sold it to me. Every time I hear him talk, I'm sort of more, I don't know, enthusiastic about it. I think, well, that's a really clear vision. This is a guy who can get it done, I think. Now, this is not investment advice. Like, all of this is super risky, but this is, I think, why it's growing so much. Now, they launched this Pengu token this week, right? Because they want, the Pudgy Penguins now cost a fortune. It's really expensive to actually own one of these. They're sort of grail items, right? They're exclusive items. But loads of people want to be in this ecosystem, right? They've sort of dropped all these Pudgy Penguins toys to people. And you can redeem a little code on the back of that, and then you're in a game, the Pudgy Penguins game, and even those guys got given some of these tokens. He wants everyone involved in the ecosystem to have a stake in it, right? To have a little piece of that. And you don't have to buy one of these extremely expensive NFTs. You can just buy Pengu. That's his idea. It also means, apart from everyone can be part of the ecosystem and buy in at a much lower price point, that the whales, the people who have millions and want to invest in this because they really believe in the potential, they can also invest in it without moving the price too much because there's already so much liquidity in this token. It's a big token, it's a big ecosystem. So people won't move the price as much when they come in with their tons of money. So from a business point of view, it's actually a really good idea to launch this Pengu token because it makes all of that investment possible, makes it more sustainable, gives it a sort of more balanced, I don't know, base of liquidity. So what's going to happen next? We'll see. It's early days, right? This Pengu token just launched like 5 days ago now. So it's trying to find its price. Where is it? Some people are selling, some people are buying. The market's trying to find out, what's this really worth? It's such a hard asset to understand the worth, right? because we've seen that they have done stuff, but again, there's lots of sort of hope for the future. It's a brand new asset class, right? Collectibles, NFTs. So we'll see what happens in the future. It's really exciting though, and I'm just waiting to see what the team says next. I'm listening to everything Luca has to say in his interviews. Whenever Luca does a new interview or a new podcast, I'm just sort of there like a fanboy listening to it, just because it's so nice to see something which I can actually kind of get behind and really enjoy. I think a lot of the stuff in NFT space a lot of it is based around sort of pride and like, let's be arrogant and look how much money we've got. And you know, there's jokes about that, right? It's all status symbols and a lot of speculation and money. I'm not averse to making money and all the rest of it, and even status, I can fall into that trap. But I'm pleased that there's a project where wherever I listen to Luca, I sort of think, okay, this is good, I can get on board with this. And I think a lot of other people feel the same. Another huge thing that's happening, which I almost forgot to mention, is that the same team, right, Luca Netz and his team, they're going to launch the Abstract chain, right, their own sort of blockchain. And I've got high hopes for that, just because I've seen what he's done with Pudgy Penguins, I've seen his execution. And these are guys who are in the space, right? They're there, they're looking, they know what Solana is, they know about meme coins, they're in the trenches. They're looking through the ecosystem every day. And they're looking at not just what we want, people are in the ecosystem, what functionality are we looking for? But they're also looking at all the people who are outside, right? Who don't know anything about NFTs and the crypto culture. What are they looking for? How can we make it easier for other people to enjoy this without needing a PhD to use the ecosystem, right? So I think this Abstract chain, when it launches, it's meant to be consumer-facing sort of crypto thing. And I think they'll probably be able to do it. I think they have a really good handle on what people are looking for, how simple you need to make it. And you know, I'm interested to see what happens next, right? This is not investment advice, I've got to say that, right? If you're watching this and you don't know anything about it, you're right in thinking that cryptos and NFTs are super volatile. They are super, super volatile. All of this stuff is really speculative. I'm just so pleased that there's actually some brands building and in a way that I can get on board with, you know? So there we are. See you in the next one. God bless. Merry Christmas.